So I was in the shower, I was cleaning my ass and making all sure all sparkly, spanky clean.
I'm not the funny one, I'm the pretty one.
Cock shots. I just checked myself out.
Candles, music, wine, and then lube up and get on top.
The glory hole's like like Dick Theater. I've imagined your family.
Which means your pants had better come off. Mama needs playtime. I think
We're not sluts.
we just love love. Hello, listeners out in podcast land.
I'm back, fuckers.
Yes, Mr. Adam is back.
I'm
and
back.
Apparently, it's going to be a lot more civilized podcast from now on.
Yeah, look. I want to apologize to all you people who had to listen to Angela and the gentleman go through that horrible, obnoxious list. I got many, many emails from people that said, we loved it, we laughed so hard, we wrecked our cars, we fell down a set of stairs. I'm really starting to feel like I might be replaced on my own podcast.
That could never happen.
Yes. And for the discerning ear, you might hear the gentleman giggling over in the corner. Fuck you, buddy. Fuck you.
He's very good at giggling.
He is very good at giggling. Come here and say hi.
Hi, podcast listeners.
Yeah, see. So, yeah, you're gorgeous, but go away. Yeah, so I'm
coming for you.
Oh, you will be,
Yeah.
baby. I'm back. I'm in control. I'm not in control. But yeah, so today we have a really awesome interview.
Yes, we do.
With the folks over at Club Euphoria in Toledo, Ohio.
In the U.S.
Yes. It's the only state that has an O on each end and hi in the middle.
That was clever. I'm impressed.
Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah, it was actually really nice. We really enjoyed talking to them. They were just such a lovely couple.
Yeah.
And they do a lot of good for the community, both the swinger community and the greater community, and you'll hear that as we interview them.
Yeah, they are they're a rare breed, so take a listen to this and support them as much as you can. We have a special place in our heart for them because of their new pendulum parties that they're holding in the States.
Yes.
It's the first pendulum that's gone international, so woot.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah, so sit back, relax, and enjoy our interview with Dee and Ray from Club Euphoria. So we're here with the, now I can see them clearly, the absolutely gorgeous Ray and Dee, the owners of Club Euphoria, which is definitely on my list that I want to see this club or this venue, this event, and we're going to talk a bit more about it, I suppose. But yes, thank you guys for joining us, and it's like a little Skype date.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
Sure, our pleasure.
So I want to get something right out in the open, right off the bat. We hear that we're only your third favorite podcast. What the hell, people?
I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, it's so hard.
I'm kidding.
Unfortunately, I have to give props to. I stumbled upon you from other podcasts, so you're third in line. I'm sorry, but tonight you're number one.
I plead the fifth.
Jokes aside, and look, it's we're just happy to be on anyone's list at any point. I'm happy with, yeah. But it goes back to I'd rather be 9 people's first favorite thing than 100 people's 9th favorite. But I'm proud to be the third. That's woohoo!
I was just saying, now that we can see you, see you guys are so sexy, we can put you on a different kind of list if you would like.
Ooh,
that sounds intriguing.
That
I like that
for you.
Like we're number 1 on bisexual people who live in Sydney, Australia's sexy list.
Correct.
Yes.
I'm okay with you curating a whole new list for me. So, congratulations on the nomination and the finalist list for the award.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
It's fantastic.
How did that happen?
How did that happen? A lot of hard work. I mean, the amount of effort that we see you guys put in on Twitter alone, if you put that kind of effort into your club, which I'm imagining you do, no wonder you made it to the final round. And I'm going to call for a recount if you don't win.
Oh, thank you. We're just honored. I never thought Never, never. There are so many bigger venues out there. Apparently, we've got fans.
Look, if I've heard it once, I've heard it 1,000 times.
That's awesome.
Size doesn't matter.
Yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'll drink to that.
Cheers.
All right, so let's go back to the beginning of Club Euphoria. So Bradford mentioned that you own this club, but he didn't say where it was.
Oh, I didn't. No.
It's in Toledo, Ohio, is that right?
Yes.
So what made you decide to open up a swingers club? Did you guys identify as swingers before that, or did you just decide to open the club and then start exploring? How did this work?
We were in the lifestyle prior to, and we had a rough start along the way. Took a vacation to Desire, which we're jealous that you guys are going to be going to both in November.
Join us. It's a business
But
expense.
anyways, yes, a business expense.
Right.
Yes. So we went to Desire and met another club owner, and what they just said was Toledo's a dead market. It's not dead per se. There was 11 or 12 other clubs, everybody fighting for territory, but the politics, the church, we're in the Bible Belt. They're not fond of that. We came home, and it was supposed to be just meet and greets. And the first party, over 100 people showed up. The second party, we ended up taking over a bar. And we're like, we're on to something here. So, and I mean, pretty much the rest is history. Then we started doing hotel takeovers and, stuff like that. It grew fast.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's great.
Yeah. So does it move around? Do you have a set place that you go to, or are you constantly contacting different venues to see if you can host there?
We have a hotel that we use, and it's about 45 minutes from here. So that always sells out when we do the takeovers. Because at the time there were so many parties going on at the time, and everybody had a club, everybody could do it, right? It got to be too hard. So now we do bar takeovers, and 95% of our parties are out of our house. We bought a new house and have remodeled it to make it conducive for the lifestyle.
You're my hero.
I know.
You're my heroes. My heroes. That's
We're somebody's hero.
Never been anybody's hero.
yes.
You're really moving up on that checklist.
Look, I think if I could build like a house that I could live in that's also a swingers club, that just brings a tear to my eye.
Yeah. That's kind of amazing.
You just have to figure out how you can pass it off as a normal house. All the rest of the time you're not holding events,
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So I will say,
right, the hooks in the ceiling and stuff. You're like, oh, that's for working out, and we have excuses for everything.
Just hang plants from them when you're not using them.
There you go. Great idea.
That's a big eye bolt for a big plant.
I've always got like workout equipment that never gets used.
that's great. Well, you both look like you're in shape. That would fit. Yeah, we're gym jockeys, or I don't know, what, gym monkeys. I don't know.
We're in shape from the neck up.
Oh yeah. Sometimes we joke. Angela's like, I need to work out more. I was like, girl, your pelvic floor muscle is strong.
It's the only one.
That's the only one that matters.
There's one, isn't it?
So I will say I did perv on your website and was looking at some of the setups that you have. And I know if anybody out there listens to Normalizing Non-Monogamy, you talked about your dance floor. And you hear that and you're like, yeah, cool, dance floor. But then you look at the pictures. You made that?
Yeah, that was a labor of love.
That thing is amazing.
Yeah.
That I hate.
It's absolutely amazing.
It's really cool.
How big is it?
I think if we put everything all together, it's about 14 by 14, and then there's a catwalk that goes with it and stuff, and some other pieces that can kind of be added on to connect to it.
And for anybody who hasn't looked at their website, definitely we'll talk about the website with Toledo Adult Parties. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's right.
And look at their gallery. It's a lit dance floor where it's like spotlighted from below, and it's sexy as hell. I looked at that. I looked at Angela, and I was like, "Do you think we could do that in our apartment?"
I don't think so.
When it's not a dance floor, we use it as a platform for beds to put the king size beds on so that the beds glow.
Oh, dude.
I love it. I love it.
I love it. So, okay. So you decided to do this club. Had you been to many clubs in the past, or is this just all sort of like, this is what I would want if I were to go to a club, and I'm going to make it for me kind of thing, and hopefully everybody else will like it?
No, we had been to quite a few, and that was kind of played a role in why we decided to start our own, because from going to different clubs and seeing what other people had been doing and stuff, and we liked what other people had done, and but we just thought there was more that we could do that we thought of, this would be cool if we could do this, and then we'd sit around and go, oh, wouldn't it be cool if we had a light up dance floor, and so we thought, oh, we should do this stuff, and then $50,000 later, we were like, oh, that was a horrible idea. No. But no, that's kind of how that started. Is we just we just kind of we went to other clubs and parties all over the place, and just felt like we could definitely do this ourselves. And we love to party, we love to have fun, we love to host. So we thought it would be a good fit for us. So we thought at the very least we could do this as well as anyone else, and hopefully we could do it better. We thought we could do it better, so we gave it a shot.
Well, if award nominations are anything, that explains that you are doing it better than many of the other people out there. So that's, again, props. So, I mean, you run parties and education events and meet and mingles, right?
Yes.
So how often is it every weekend, or is it once a month? How do you guys?
How do you divide the time up between all of those?
Yeah.
The parties, we'll do the actual play parties. We host 1 to 2 a month. The educational part of it, we've kind of slacked off a little bit, but it's going to start ramping up again, thanks to Pendulum.
Yes.
Holy moly. But about every other month on the educational part, we do etiquette seminars for new people and for veterans, because, swinging isn't the same as it was 5 years ago, 10 years ago. So we try to keep up with all the happenings that's going on. But right now, Pendulum is, it has taken off running thanks to you guys, and you guys have no idea the impact you've made for us here, and I thank you.
Well, we definitely appreciate it. It was one of those things when we saw your message come through asking about Pendulum. It was like, it was exactly what we wanted. I mean, it's a pay it forward kind of thing. And when folks we keep like back and forth on the ego stroking, but to have folks like you take it up, and it's really great because we respect all the things you do. And again, watching you guys on Twitter, you are very active and passionate about the lifestyle.
And let's go back for listeners who aren't really aware of what we're talking about.
Yes.
So we've been doing the Pendulum parties here in Sydney for about a year and a half now. So every quarter we have a party at our secret spot in which we encourage by play, especially between males, because it's very easy for females to be encouraged in the lifestyle to play with each other. Although not all women in the lifestyle identify as bi, that's a whole nother can of worms that we can talk about later. But it's not as accepted generally for guys to play with each other. And so we wanted to create a safe environment where we could encourage that male-male interaction, or for couples to explore together, because that's what we find a lot of times is that one member of the couple is interested in it, but they don't necessarily want to go out and do it on their own. They want to do it with their partner. And so that's why we created the Pendulum Party, was to create that kind of environment where people could play together and explore and just see if it's something that they're interested in, and if so, just have a good time. And so a little while ago, Ray and Dee contacted us about hosting pendulum parties at Club Euphoria in Ohio. And would that be okay? Could they use the name? And we were just ecstatic that somebody would want to take the idea and build upon it and do it somewhere else, because it just really opens up a whole nother market to so many more people. And it's really kind of amazing.
Yeah, and it sounds like you've had a pretty good turnout. Can you tell us about how the first one, at the 1.0, right? Pendulum 1.0.
Yep, well, Pendulum 1.0, we had a lot of emails and a lot of phone calls and people asking. So I said if one person showed up, then it was a success. Well, we had 17 people show.
That's awesome.
And I was just giddy. I was so happy as the people started coming in. And just like anything we do, it seems to be everybody wants to do it, but nobody wants to be the first one to dip their toe in, so to speak. Well, since we've had Pendulum, I'm getting emails after emails after emails. Now everybody's interested in it because they were afraid. They were afraid to be the first. Mm-hmm. So they wanted somebody else to be the first to show up. Now everybody wants. But I think we would like to schedule Pendulum 2.0 in September, but I would like to make it mandatory that they go through like a 1 hour, just a kind of a crash course on what to expect. Just because this is different territory for not just me, but for a lot of other people. Mm-hmm. And we want to make sure that everybody's safe and make sure that consent is key. And we make sure that, we take the right steps, because I don't want this to go off the rails, because I think it's going to be very, very successful.
So 1.0 was a meet and greet, right?
It was a meet and greet, and it was, we had a woman, we'll call her an educator. She's not certified, none of us are certified in anything, but she's been doing this for over 20 years. So I think she knows her shit. She showed up with 4 suitcases, wedges, mattresses, just cleaners and toys and lubes, and I was dumbfounded. Mm-hmm. It was amazing. I learned so much.
So out of you said there were 17 people that came to that one. What was the ratio or the mixture of male, females, couples, that kind of thing? Like what was the demographic, I guess?
There were, turn that off, there were 3 couples, 1 single female, and the rest were all male.
Awesome.
That's exciting.
That is exciting.
Yes. And there were people there that when they walked in the door, I had no idea that they were either bi or into pegging. And I've known these people for years.
I love it.
So that was very exciting for me.
Yeah.
It's great to see that that opportunity to get rid of that bi erasure, because just like you said, you had no idea, and which is fine. There's no reason for you to know, but it's nice to give folks an opportunity to be themselves and to not be ashamed of their sexuality or their sexual practices.
What they're interested in.
Absolutely. They know that Ray he's not homophobic, but he is straight. Mm-hmm. But I had 2 of the guys that said that if I would like to try pegging, that they had offered themselves to me. And I almost started to cry, because I'm like, how can you? That's just very.
That's so nice. She fuck you in the ass.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what to say. I don't know. But I'll do it.
That's great. I love it.
I feel like we're gonna have to get a quality strap on though for that. Like the ones we have, they're too.
Yeah,
they're not gonna cut it.
No.
Get something.
No.
You can talk to Angela about that. She has a number of quality strap-ons and the different types. We could go on and on about.
Yeah, I've got probably 7 or 8 different strap-ons, but I would say 3 are my favorites, and depending on the scenario, I'll use different ones.
Oh, okay, great. Well, if you can pick out your favorite one that you would recommend, maybe if you could, put it in the show notes or something, and we can all check it out.
What we could do is you guys just come down to Sydney. We'll take you shopping.
Yes.
Hey, we'd love to. Taking the Sydney Harbor Australia Bridge tour has always been on my bucket list of things to do. So, if you guys are on the bucket list and that's on the regular bucket list, we can knock out 2 birds with 1 stone.
I like this.
I'm okay with this.
I'm okay with this. Yes, and Dee, I will gladly. I'll gladly let you peg me as well.
Yes. Thank you.
That's just great. I've completely lost my train of thought. I got started thinking about pegging, and now I'm like, I'm sorry.
You're like, we need a break. All right, so the Pendulum 2.0, that's going to be more of a play party, right? More interaction, is that correct?
Absolutely. Yes.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And so you said you've got lots of people already signed up. Do you have a date in mind yet, or is it still churning around in the?
Well, because after yesterday of finding out about the lifestyle nomination, making a finalist, we're going to move stuff around because apparently we have to have a party. I feel like they're like, this is the lifestyle awards. They're like, we're going to have a party just because we were a finalist. If we were to win, watch out. It will be one hell of a party when we get home. So in September, I'm going to move some things around.
Well, the reason we ask is there's a slight chance that we'll be in the States in September. Mm-hmm. So if we are in the States and we can manage to sync it up, we would love to come to your first Pendulum 2.0.
Yes. Even if you're not too close, we could possibly meet in the middle.
Oh, we
on the backside.
Geographically or pegging wise?
Both.
Oh my God, we're losing control. I've never been to Toledo, so I mean that would be
yeah. We'll have to work on the dates and see what you end up choosing, but hopefully we'll do our best to try and work that out.
We'll chat offline.
Awesome. Yes.
So tell us about some of the challenges that you guys have run into and then pushed through on doing the club situation. I'm assuming that you guys both have day jobs as well, and that this is kind of a time intensive project.
Yeah, we both work full time, and this is just kind of our on the side, that we started doing just for fun, and then it started to take up a lot of time and a lot of money and a lot of effort. But the challenges have been pretty diverse. I suppose the normal challenges that any club goes through with drama, and sometimes you run into people who maybe don't fit in just right. And you do your best to incorporate everybody, but sometimes you have to ask people to step away, and you hate to do that kind of stuff. But those are the main challenges that we've had. Just with just silly drama that you have it. It's part of lifestyle. You have it everywhere. So trying to manage that, and then the other main things are just finding locations. There aren't a lot of hotels and places that welcome a whole group of swingers to come in and party with at their venues. So finding places to host parties and stuff like that are just kind of a common challenge. Those were the main things, I think.
I'd really like to be a fly on the wall when you ask a hotel manager if you can do a swinger takeover. I can't imagine how that goes, especially in the States.
There's a whole folder made up that looks very professional, with forms and pictures and stuff, and we go in and present a very professional, and give references and say, hey, this is where we've been. We've never torn anything up. This is some pictures of all of our equipment and our stuff, and try and make ourselves look as legit and professional as possible. And then they usually still say no, but that's okay.
That's awesome. Adulting. That's great.
That's awesome.
So if we win the lifestyle award and we become famous, we're just going to buy a hotel.
We become famous.
I think that's a good solution. Yes.
It's really funny because I've always said that there should be like a swingers bed and breakfast kind of thing where the only people who stay there are swingers, and like you get that every night is a meet and mingle, and if you want to play you can, if you don't, you don't. Themed rooms. Let's get on this.
Yes.
Beautiful. Hey, we're hopefully building a house in the next couple of years. We'll theme it all out. That'd be great.
I love it. We'll make sure that on our next trip through Toledo, we'll definitely stop by.
We can make a special trip.
A special trip. That's right.
Perfect.
So another thing,
you guys are just around the corner.
I know.
There's
right?
only like an 18-hour trip. So.
Yeah, I think the flight to Toledo is right at 22 hours once you add in layovers and whatnot.
Yeah. Only a day away.
Easy. Look at that. Less than a day. You could be here in less than a day. Yeah.
Yes.
I really love it. He's like, you're not even trying. Come on.
Hey, if we come, could you guys take us to New Zealand too?
Oh, bloody oath, mate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, New Zealand is amazing.
Get your jandals on. We're going tramping.
Do a little skip and a jump over there. All right, it's a deal then.
New Zealand is one of my favorite places on earth. It's beautiful. It's oh, and by the way, get your jandals on. We're going tramping. That's like New Zealand speak for jandals or sandals, and tramping is hiking. So it's just to clear that up because I said it.
Oh, it sounds much dirtier than that.
I know. But yeah, it's
when we go tramping in Toledo, it means something totally different.
Do jandals on?
You're gonna need a shot of penicillin.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. I'd be tramping in my pajamas if you said that.
Oh my god! I mean, I can give you an injection, but it's not penicillin.
That's okay. We only have one chance at this life. I'm living it. I'm living it.
That's a great attitude.
I love that attitude. It really is. So in that, touching on that, one of the things that you said, and I've heard you say on previous podcasts, is talking about pulling people into the dance floor and not, I'm going to say not allowing them, but that sounds bad. I mean, encouraging them to not be wallflowers.
Yeah.
To encourage, I love that attitude that you have. You've got this really kind of like, I'm going to take life by the balls and we're going to have fun. Is that just who you are, or is that something that you've become over the years?
It's who I've always wanted to be, but I moved here and I met him and I knew no one. So it was my chance to be who I wanted to be / reinvent myself. Mm-hmm. And it worked. My nieces and nephews call me Aunt Crazy. Everybody just says, you're larger than life. I'm like, we gotta have fun, and I want everybody on my crazy train because wherever we go, it's a shit show. You don't walk away going, well, that sucked. So that's just yeah. No, we just make the most of it.
That's all. Ray, are you the same way?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we went to way too many parties, and that kind of is one of the factors and why we even started doing this is we went to way too many parties where we just, stood on the wall in the beginning and we're kind of bored all night and talked to, maybe a couple of people talk to us. And so, we kind of decided that that's not the atmosphere we want here. We want it to be inclusive. We want everybody to be, we kind of look at our group as kind of a family, and we want when new people come, we want them to be part of that. We want them to become part of the family, and so we try to include them and make them feel welcome and right at home, and right away. That's kind of just something that we do that we feel good about as part of who we are.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I love it. That's how it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. It's like you both said. You only have one life, and let's live it to the fullest.
Yep. Get out there and have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, no regrets. Or regrets.
No regrets.
No, I almost said that. You mean regrets?
Soil your oats.
Soil your oats.
Oh my God,
yes.
That's God. I love we're throwing back to other podcasts. This is great.
Yes.
I'm not drinking tonight.
I think I'm not drinking this morning. I should just tell you this is vodka. It's just pure vodka.
It's not.
So I also wanted to see if I could figure out, is DJ Gamma Ray? Ray, are you DJ Gamma Ray?
In the flesh. That's me.
So have you done? Is it just?
Isn't that a cool name?
It's badass.
That's cool. I picked it out myself.
I picked it out.
No, that was
me.
Pretty sure it was me.
Whatever.
Team effort.
So
team effort. Yes.
Wasn't gamma radiation what caused Bruce Banner to become the Hulk?
It was.
So then with that, I'm assuming then that Dee at some point got sprayed with gamma radiation, and that you don't want to make her angry because when she's angry, she like rips out of her clothes and is all left with a really hot purple number.
Yeah, you have no idea. When she's angry, it's not pretty at all.
No,
Yeah.
I don't even like myself when I'm angry.
Well, she acts a lot like the Hulk, throwing stuff and throws this huge temper tantrum.
Yes, I am a spoiled brat.
D smash.
If I don't get my way, you will know it. Sorry.
Sun's getting real low now. I have to try and talk her down.
That's just great. I love it.
That's awesome. So you talked about, going back a little ways, you mentioned that some of the educational classes that you do, you talk about swinging and how it is and how it's changed through the ages and how you have to keep adjusting and so that keep people who are in the lifestyle up to date with kind of what's going on. How have you seen it change over the last little while? What changes have you seen?
Oh, goodness. Well, there's literally a handful of, we'll call them clubs, if even what you want to call them. In Northwest, there are no brick and mortar lifestyle clubs. You've got a few up in the Cleveland area, down in Southern Ohio, in the Columbus area, but that's pretty much it. So we've seen a lot just go away. We've seen, now that we're getting older, the crowd is getting older, but then it's also getting younger.
That is a major change, I think, that we've seen is there is a lot of younger people who are migrating towards the lifestyle, which even 5 years ago, it seemed like maybe the average age was, 40-ish, somewhere in there. And it seems to me like we see a lot more younger people coming to parties. And, I think the other major change that we weren't really around pre-internet for swinging, but I think that it just becomes more and more and more integrated into, with obviously with the internet and, all the different websites that are out there, make it so easy for people to get in contact. And it's kind of an evolution that's really freed people to find each other easily and, fairly safely, hopefully, and quickly. So that's a huge thing that's changed the whole way that the lifestyle works, I think. That, like I said, with younger people migrating their way in, which is great. We love to see younger people coming in as long as they're all nice and secure in their relationships and stable in that.
Yeah.
Not causing drama.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting because even down here at Our Secret Spot, I think we've noticed that the average age has changed in the past 5 years because, like you said, when we first started going there, I'd say the average age at OSS was probably around 35. But now it's amazing the number of people that come in and you're like, oh, how old are you? You're like, oh, I'm 21, 22. And you're like, oh, God, I have shirts older than you.
Yes. It's hard when we have people that come that are the same age as my adult children. And it's like, it's something. Because I have to take a step back and go, I'm not their mother. I'm their friend. And I want to mentor them, but I don't want to mother them.
Yeah.
And that is very hard for me because I generally care about people. So a lot of times I mother everyone, I think. I'm the mother hen.
Sure.
Look, I don't see there's a problem with that. That just means you care. I mean, if people can't accept the fact that you actually do care about them, then get out. I think that's a positive.
So what I was going to say was...
March yourself straight to the bedroom.
Yeah.
That's right.
Is that when the flogger comes out?
Absolutely.
Uh-huh. I like that.
That's when the strap-on comes out.
Ooh, even better. No, what I was going to say before was you're talking about the ages getting younger and things. And so some research that we saw recently was looking at how acceptable people are of open relationships from different generations. And the millennials generation is incredibly more accepting of open relationships. It was some huge number, like
80%.
Yeah, thought that they would be in an open relationship at some point in their life. And it's just such a different change from our generation and before us in the fact that they're open to the idea. And it's like, yeah, it might be a thing. It may or may not. You never know. But at least to say that it could be is so different than what I was taught growing up. And it's kind of refreshing to see that. And whether it is for you or not for you, at least that you accept it could be. And if it's not for me, but it is for my friends, that's okay too. And I think that's a very positive and healthy attitude to have.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's another major change that we kind of left out before is how mainstream acceptable, it's kind of become. I think, like you said, with the millennial generation, they're so much more accepting and tolerant of, especially the LGBTQ community.
Yeah.
And I feel like, the swingers, in a way, fit into that kind of same broad category. And so, yeah, you feel it's definitely much more socially acceptable, especially with the younger generation. So hopefully we can all come out of the closet someday and, not have to hide everything.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah. So what's your future look like? Looking forward to the next 5 years. You said you're building a house.
They're winning awards.
You're winning awards. I'm assuming that made for television movie will be soon.
Yes.
Are we going to be on Lifetime?
Yes, I will have probably Jada Pickett Smith. She will play me.
Well, I'm playing myself if she's here.
No. That's not how this works.
We love doing what we're doing, and hopefully we can just continue to keep doing that. And the pendulum parties are a new avenue that we've started to go down, and hopefully those will be successful, and we can help some people find their comfort zone and be a little more at ease with themselves and have some fun in the process. And who knows? Yeah.
If we ever stopped throwing parties, we would still promote and educate and do whatever we can to help the next generation. Make it so that it's so they have an easy way in and not struggle and go through what we went through, because we didn't have there were the resources, but not as ample as they are today. So, I'm always listening, I'm always writing down, I have notes, I'm always reaching out to somebody because I want to have an answer, and I don't want to say, well, I don't know. If I say I don't know, I need to find out immediately, because leaving somebody hanging, in limbo it's not acceptable.
Sounds like if you're writing it all down, you should write a book.
Yeah, the memoirs.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about the last interview about the bloopers. A whole couple of chapters on our bloopers that are.
Yes, that anybody who hasn't already heard it, listen to the normalizing non-monogamy. The closet story was classic.
Yeah,
it was classic, Ray. I'm sorry, man.
I'm out of the closet.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've definitely made some big mistakes along the way, but I think we've rectified them. If we really screwed up, and apologies were warranted. It was never a text or a phone call. It's a face-to-face apology if we wronged anybody. And I think in life a couple times we have to reset, wipe the slate clean, and start over. And we've had to do that. I think we've all had to do that. And moving forward, I see lots of good things. I think not just for us, but for just everyone around us. There's a lot to be offered in this lifestyle, and if you know where to look and who to talk to, the opportunities are endless.
So if you could go back and talk to yourselves 10 years ago before as you were, I'm assuming, was it 10 years that you've been in the lifestyle? Is that right? Or am I?
7. Well, 6.5.
Okay. So if you go back and talk to yourself 6.5, 7 years ago, what would a piece of advice that you would give yourself, each of you, about the lifestyle?
That's easy for me. I think mine would definitely be just to slow down in the beginning and don't try and jump in with both feet and go too fast. That's a recipe for, not always a recipe for disaster, but a lot of the time moving too fast can cause a lot of problems. So for me, it would definitely be myself to slow down, to enjoy it for what it is, to enjoy the social functions of it and the social aspects of it as well as the sexual aspects of it. And to not have expectations all the time when we go to a party, because that was a big problem for me in the beginning was, go to a party and I'm expecting that we're going to have this dream sexual encounter or orgy with the super hot model couple, and it just doesn't happen that way. So you just have to, eventually you learn to have reasonable expectations and realize that no matter what happens, you're going home with the love of your life, and you're going to have great sex when you get home either way. And so just go and enjoy yourself and have fun, and don't expect fireworks every single time you go out.
That's good advice.
Yeah.
Yes, she's clapping for him.
Yes. Geez, mine. Oh goodness, mine would be that it's okay to communicate, not to judge somebody for their feelings, wants, needs, or desires. That if you just open your mouth and communicate and not fight, but have a rational conversation, that you can work through this. It doesn't have to blow up into a huge fight every time. You know, keep an open mind. Because, boy, was I drama. I was horrible. Horrible, horrible. I'm so glad you stuck with me. Because yeah. Oh, thank you. But, yeah, if you look up drama, my picture should be in there. And I was not a good person because I wasn't comfortable in my own skin. I didn't know how to communicate. And once I learned, it's like, oh, this is so easy. I made it a lot harder than what it truly was.
Yeah, I think both of you, that's great advice. I think that if you look under the dictionary in drama, you might be definition 1, but definition 2 is probably me.
Oh.
Oh, 2 peas in a pod.
I am pretty full of drama. I know that's surprising to everybody. And secondly, I used to do the exact same thing, Ray, where you would go out and you would have this script in your head of how things were going to be. And as soon as reality started to deviate from that script, I started to spiral out of control, both mentally, emotionally, and again, which would feed into the drama.
But you're a lot better.
I'm better now.
Yeah.
Now I've taken improv classes. I can improv.
I can definitely tell you that the best experiences that we've had were completely unplanned, completely out of the blue, where, we just were at a party, we met some great people, maybe a group of people, and it was just like everybody hit it off, and we were having a great time, and all of a sudden somebody said, hey, let's go fuck or something, and we were, oh, okay, let's, and it turned out to be just an amazing experience, and those are the kinds that are the best by far, as far as I'm concerned. It seems like trying to plan things usually just ends up not going as well. I mean, it still could go fine, but it just seems like those spontaneous, no expectations, like out of the blue, holy cow, did that just happen, like thing is just so much better.
Absolutely. I totally agree. We've had some of those that have just been mind-blowing, and you're like, wow, I did not expect this from the evening.
The number of times we've said that in the cab on the way back from the club, going, that was not how I thought this evening would go. It's amazing what the word yes can do for you. It's just like, do you want to do this? Yes, I do.
Yeah.
So, but
that's funny. We should add. I was just thinking about that the other day. We have a friend who used to podcast, and she used to say that one of the main things that they found for success in the lifestyle was that they had to ask for the business. That they, that was a problem that we had a lot too. Was where we meet a couple and we're like, oh, this is going great, and then there's that awkward moment where you're just not sure. Do I ask? Do I not ask? Do I, and you have to open your mouth and ask for the business, and say, hey, you guys are great. Do you want to go find a room somewhere or something? Because otherwise you just stare at each other all night and it gets awkward.
Yeah, which could be fun as well. But Angela's the best at that. Angela's the one that goes, well, I'm going to go dress down and go upstairs. Anybody who wants to come, you guys can come along.
That's me. Yeah, that's me. I'm that guy. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to the bedroom. If anybody wants to fuck, I'll be there.
Let's get this party started.
Yeah. So wait, so Dee, are you not like that? Are you more quiet and reserved when it gets to the? Because you're loud and bubbly here, but are you quiet and reserved when it's
go time?
When it's go time?
No.
Depends on how much he's had to drink.
It depends on how much I've had to drink. I've initiated things that people today are still talking about, going, how did you? Why? How?
The great orgy of 2015.
The great orgy of 2015. I think no one in that room had an orgy until that day. And I just, and I guess I've gotten to the point where I don't like to drink too much because I want to make sure that I'm in control of things. But I just blurted it out, sober as can be, because I'm getting to the point in my life where it's like, okay, it's going to be now or never. And now means yes. So let's just do this. And the whole, we're going to go over here and do the secret word thing. No, we don't even have a secret, a wink, a squeeze under the table. I just feel it's best if you just do it to their face. We're interested in you. And then we've also, where I've just had to come out and say, you're great people. but there's not that connection. But I have a lot of room in my life and in my heart for more friends. So if you're looking for more friends, we would love to be friends. But anything over that, I don't see it. But our biggest tool, what do you call it? The brain. Our biggest
sexual organ.
Sexual organ. Up here, there are people that I never thought in a million years. Because I'm like, no. But the more I got to talk to them, they became more attractive.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you have the ones that are really good looking, and they open their mouth in the first sentence, and you're like, nope. Yeah. Yep.
That's why I have to count on you for using your largest sexual organ, because when my largest sexual organ gets excited, I go brain dead. Seals all the blood. It's like a compass, it just points north or something, and it's like, follow it wherever it goes. No, I'm just kidding. It's not like that.
Oh my God, that's just great.
I love it.
So, real quick, just one thing you touched on that I've got to know. I have to know. The Great Orgy of 2015. How many people?
There had to be probably 17 people at least.
That's fantastic.
It was my birthday, and we came back to our house, and Dee ran and came through the back door and answered the front door that we were all standing at, butt ass naked, and was like, "Everybody, take your clothes off as you come in." And, so,
and I just pointed to the basement.
Then we just kind of just ushered them down to the playroom in the basement, and
then I became Julie McCoy of 2015 Orgy, because I was directing who was going to play with who, what, why, where, how, and I just hooked up. I just told you go with him, you go with her, you two girls get together, you guys go here, and yeah, it was fantastic. It worked out perfectly.
I love it.
That's fantastic.
That size needs someone to direct traffic.
Yes.
I love it.
We would like to do that again.
Absolutely.
Somebody needs a birthday.
Yes.
It's coming up.
It's coming up in August. Mine is first.
Yeah, hers will be right over in New Orleans while we're not just missing while we're in New Orleans. So we should celebrate her birthday while we're there.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I think you have to. I think it's required.
That's right. You need some alcohol, a beignet, and an orgy.
Yes.
Maybe not in that order.
What is the mayo? What's the sandwich?
Somebody said we have to try the muffalata sandwich, whatever a muffalata is.
Yes.
Don't ask Alexa, because she'll tell you it's something to do with...
I don't know. She messed that one all up.
Yeah, don't ask Alexa. We don't know what it is, but we should try it.
So it's a wonderful sandwich with it's got an olive tapenade on it it's lots of olives, very wonderful. It's delicious. It's a magical experience.
Oh yes, I will eat it. He will not.
Definitely go for the beignet. It's like a puffed donut. They're fantastic. Yum.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
That made you mine.
Now we're getting hungry.
Now I'm getting hungry. Suddenly, I should have eaten breakfast.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of feel like I'm about to get an education in cuisine here, Cajun cuisine and stuff.
Yes.
Oh,
That's so good.
yeah, Cajun cuisine is a magical experience.
Mm-hmm.
So jealous. So yeah, we wanted to go to Naughty this year, but of course we've got the 2 weeks in Mexico, so you had to choose. But maybe in coming years we'll definitely try to get there.
Absolutely.
So I guess we'll wrap this up. Do you have any final questions or thoughts?
No, I think we've covered everything.
Let's give you guys a chance to say, where can we find you? Where can we find out about your parties? Where can people follow you on Twitter and all those other great social media things?
Since I do all of that, Ray has no idea. You can email us at ToledoAdultParties@gmail. Our website is ToledoAdultParties.com. That is as current can get. You can find us on Twitter at Club Euphoria 1. And we're not on all of the lifestyle websites because we've tried them all. And pretty much what it came down to is it was a waste of money. SLS seems to be what everybody uses in this part of the country. We've tried Cassidy, we've tried SDC, we've tried SZC, we've tried them all. And it just seems that SLS is the one that works for us. It's not the greatest site, but
It needs
needs a little work on certain things, and it's okay to say that.
We take it back, our friends at SLS. We love you girls.
Hey, everybody's got room for improvement.
Yeah, I mean, nothing's perfect, but yeah, so, if you get on Twitter, obviously you guys know I'm always sending out stuff. I get quiet every now and again. That's when you know I'm busy. And, if you're a club owner, if you're a podcaster, if you have anything to do with the lifestyle in general, and you can go back and look in the beginning, and I still hold this true today, as long as I can verify that you own a business that has to do with the lifestyle, you come to our events for free. You do not pay, because we have to pay it forward and support one another. So we've never charged other podcasters, club owners, toy vendors, whatever. They don't pay when they come to our events, because we're here to support each other. And I just think that's just ridiculous to charge somebody when you're both trying to be successful and we're trying to just help the community. So
I think that's great.
Yeah.
I think that's amazing. And we definitely thank you, and we will definitely take you up on that the next time we're in Toledo. I'm actually really jealous. I was looking earlier because you guys have on August 18th the Pride foam party. So I want to be there.
Yeah.
That has been shared over 3,000 times, and it is going to be huge.
Yeah. Well, that's in conjunction with our friends down at Mojo's, and that's where we did the charity event here not too long ago, and our friends down there, the drag queens, Justice and Claire, and those guys, they'll be setting that up, and we'll be there performing with them, or they'll be performing. We'll be doing the foam party. That's gonna be out of control, I think. So.
That's awesome.
So jealous. That would be
Definitely wish we could be there. We'll be there in spirit, for sure.
The charity event went towards this charity event that we do, because we do a lot of charities, and sometimes we have to give anonymously. But that charity, it went for a safe haven house, for a drop-in house.
Youth,
Yeah, and within 3 hours, we raised just shy of $2,000.
Wow.
$1,200.
Was it $1,200?
$1,200.
And then we're gonna be doing it again in September, for the battered women's shelter.
That's awesome. You guys are active in every community. That's fantastic. I think that
we at Christmas time, because we have our family that comes through, and you get regular people, and by friending them on Facebook and seeing them come to parties, we actually every year we adopt a family within the lifestyle. We take cash, card, clothing. We get all the information anonymously, and this will be our 5th year that we've adopted a family. And last year we did a family, and we actually saved somebody's farm because of a bad accident that the husband was in, and they were on the verge of losing their farm, and we were able to pool our resources together enough to sustain them for almost 6.5 months.
Wow. That's amazing. Fantastic. Yeah, that's, we definitely thank you for all you do for our swinging community, for now what you're doing for your local community, which we didn't even realize, and what you do for the bi community with the pendulum parties. It's lovely to see a couple like you all who are so willing to put themselves out there and really push it forward. It's a wonderful, fantastic thing, and it's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
It was awesome talking to you guys. Good to put a face with a name.
I know, right? So follow them on Twitter. Go to their fucking parties, people, and then hopefully we'll let you know when we're in the States. We're gonna swing by, pun intended, and come to one of your parties.
See what you got going on. Yeah,
we'll see what you got going on. Excellent.
Yes.
All right. Sounds good.
Thank you guys for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
All right, so that was our little chat with Ray and Dee at Club Euphoria. As you can tell, it was heaps of fun. We really enjoyed it. It was great. A lot of good information. They're doing a lot of good work in the community, in their area especially, and the greater community, I would say, overall.
Agreed. Yeah, with special thanks to them for taking the time out of their busy schedules to sit back and talk with us.
Yeah.
And if you want to find us, please look for us on Twitter, @ByTheByPodcast. On Instagram @ByTheByPodcast, We are on Facebook, www.facebook.com/bythebye podcast. I mean, I know that's it's a running theme here.
Yeah.
But then if you're going to email us, don't go to @bythebye podcast. We
No.
are the atoms of love @gmail.com. And find us on our website, www.bythebye.com.au.
Yes, and join us next week. We're going to have lots more good stuff for you.
Yes, and if you live in the States, go to Pendulum 2.0.
Yes.
Go to their website. Check out the parties they run. I was looking at it. I'm so jealous that we don't live in the States.
They have an amazing list of parties.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So, yes. Ciao. Have a great day.